Hello, everyone, and welcome back to MNSpiritCast, second show of today. It's good to see everybody back here. We have an amazing guest tonight. A lot of you guys know him, but we'll bring him on here in just a second. First of all, here is our very own co-host and investigator, Cara and Brandon. Hello.
Hello.
And here is Rochelle. Hello, Rochelle.
Hi, guys.
How are you? Now, our guest tonight is the man of Parapost Network and Huntophobia. It's Bryan John Laverty, and let's bring him on here. Hello.
Hello. How are you guys? And girls.
Not too bad.
I want to make that
Not
clear.
too bad.
I'm only saying that is because of the fact that what happened to me last night on Facebook. So.
Oh, boy. Now, just a short introduction and bio of Bryan. Been in the paranormal field just under 10 years. Discovered when he was a child, he was able to see things other kids couldn't. Being a sensitive, opened his eyes to the paranormal world and his passion for looking what lies beyond death. Huntophobia was created at the beginning of COVID, which started on YouTube and now streams on Paraflix. Over the last year, he decided to create a social media site for everything under the paranormal umbrella called Parapost Network. He also has a podcast called Through the Lens with Bryan and Lex. He just recently became a member of the executive committee of the world's largest ghost hunt. It's a new challenge that he will take head on to bring a bigger and better event that he will eventually take over and become an owner. That is one amazing bio. You know, you have so much going on in the paranormal field. First of all, how do you juggle all this?
Some days are worse than others, but I try to prioritize on what I'm doing. I should get better at writing things down, but I do more mental than anything. I think about what I'm going to do the day ahead and usually the day before. So really, I try to prioritize, and that's all I really do. It does get overwhelming some days, but comes with the territory of doing so many things.
It sure does. You know, it's absolutely crazy. I don't know if you do this, Bryan, but I have like a agenda book. I also have my phone calendar, and I have like 3 different calendars with everything written on it. And now that I've kind of got Cara into the managing of the team, she has her own agenda book and all this, and we kind of just try to communicate back and forth to figure out events are getting done when they're supposed to be, and you just got to be organized to know what's going on, but there's so much to do sometimes.
I sometimes I'll put up the notepad on my desktop and write things I'm going to be doing during the week, but generally I don't know, I've always done this. I've always been able to put stuff in my head and know what I'm going to do the next day, and then that's what I usually do. So I've always been pretty good at doing that. I will be honest, and I think most men will agree with me on this, but most men are not great multitaskers.
Thank you.
So I try to do, if I'm going to do something, I'll do it in the morning. If I need to do something else, I'll do it in the afternoon. So I try to set out my day. But the Parapost is taking up a lot of my time. Huntophobia has kind of gotten a little bit on the back burner, which is kind of disappointing, but Parapost is my baby, and I really want to get it going, and I really want it to be successful for not only me, but for everybody else that can go to a platform where they don't have to worry about, different kinds of crap that they get on Twitter and Facebook.
Exactly. So, and since joining Parapost Network, like I said on the Paranormal Consultant podcast the other day, since getting on Parapost Network, the numbers have skyrocketed. That it's just a crazy number of just our show And then you look at other shows that are on there, and you hop on, there's hundreds of people freaking watching. That's amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? When I first started thinking about this, I was trying to think on what I was going to do with the page, because honestly, the page on Facebook was just sitting there doing nothing. I had like probably 200. I probably had 200 people on the page. I'm not saying all men. I said most men.
Darn Victor.
So, the page was just sitting there, and I figured, okay, well, I got to do something with the page, because I'm not really getting a lot of followers by just putting up the ghost icon and the logo of Parapost, and it wasn't really doing anything. And I was putting up some different pictures and videos people were uploading to Parapost, and I just felt it wasn't enough, and it wasn't going to grow the way I wanted to grow. There was a method to my madness on when I started thinking about bringing podcasts. The reason I started doing it was because eventually on Parapost Network, there's going to be live streaming. So people are going to be able to do their podcasts and their live investigations on Parapost eventually. So what I was thinking about that, and I said, well, maybe I should start bringing podcasts over to the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it all started. And it went from there. So the method to my madness was that if I was going to bring people over to the Facebook page and streaming on there, like their podcast or live investigations, then that gives them another page where they can show their stuff. Mm-hmm. So then I was thinking, okay, well, then what I can do is bring all those people that are on that page over to the app. Mm-hmm. So not only are you going to have another page, now you're going to have another page that you can go live on, which means that you're going to get more views, you're going to get more followers, you're going to get more likes, and that's what it was about. And it was about building the Facebook page, but it was also about building the Parapost app. And so there was a method to my madness and why I started doing all that. So
yeah,
and I say that so loosely, like it's normal.
Yeah, we talk about how well the Facebook page is doing, which it's doing actually phenomenally well right now.
It is. It is
booming.
2 months. What is it? 2 months? A little over 2 months now. I've been doing it, and again, when we first started talking about this, I said I was around 200 people on the page, and now it's almost at 2,200.
No way.
So it's just growing. And a great thing is I brought somebody else on that I'm hoping is going to start this week. Mm-hmm. And she is a medium. She's a medium, and she's a psychic. Ooh. And she's got close to 40,000 followers.
Wow.
And so my thought there was that if I'm able to bring this woman on to the page, not only is it going to help her, but it's going to help everybody else.
Yes.
Yep. So that means people that are coming to the page are going to experience new podcasts maybe they've never seen before, or a team that's out on an investigation that they've never seen before. So they can go over and follow them on Facebook. They can go over and follow them on YouTube and watch some of their videos. Mm-hmm. And so that was the thought. It was just an interesting way of networking everyone at the same time. Mm-hmm. And like I said on the show on Matt's show on Friday, I said, you know what? I just want everybody to build. I just want everybody to do well, because let's be honest, we put a lot of hard work in what we do.
Yes.
This is not easy. Like going out on live investigations or going out on an investigation, you got so much to do. And what a lot of people don't realize that are not in the field, that even after you've done the investigation, you got at least another 30 hours of editing to do.
Oh God, yes.
So there's so much that we're trying to provide to people. And I just felt like there was a lot of podcasts and shows that are so good, but not getting the attention they deserve.
Yes.
And that's why I created the Facebook page, so everybody can grow. I want everybody to grow. I want I brought Don Vick on the show. Now he only dabbles a little bit in the paranormal, but he's got a great show.
Yeah.
And, why not get him exposed too?
I agree.
And I'm more than willing I'm more than willing to to bring on podcasts that are not necessarily paranormal.
Yeah.
Like if you have a podcast and you want another page to stream to, reach out to me and we'll get you on the page. Why not? Why not have a variety of different things?
Agreed.
So
and
yeah.
you got a little over 20 podcasts streaming on Parapost, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's what, 25, I think 24, 25. I want to get up to about 100.
Yes.
That's my goal.
Oh
my goal is to get to 100, and so they can have a variety of different things every single day and all day long.
Right.
So.
Nicole, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Nicole.
Hello.
Now, something really awesome. Nicole actually reached out to me earlier today, and I'm not going to say too much, but we had an incident at the investigation yesterday, and a lot of people were like, not themselves at one point, and after Nicole messaged me what they messaged me, like, I don't know how to say it without spoiling it. I don't know. I guess I'll have to just put it within the episode. So I don't know. It was weird.
Well, that wasn't very.
No,
nice.
I need to know.
That wasn't very nice to give a teaser like that. You got to say more than that.
Should we say, Nicole?
We can. I don't care.
Okay, so we were actually at one point of the investigation. Everybody had to do some meditation, and bring the white light in, and just kind of focus back to where we needed to be. And Nicole was a big one that had to do it because we were at one spot of this place, and all of a sudden, like, Nicole was just walking around investigating and everything, and then kind of just quiet and hesitant, and you know what I mean. And then I got a message today that Nicole had checked the neck area because Nicole was feeling pain at the investigation yesterday. And Nicole, where did the pain start, you said?
It was like pressure in the head, and then it went like across my neck and like down to my chest area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Nicole, if you don't mind, I'd like to show this on here because it's not going to make sense if we don't have a visual. So if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so
like I'm still not like I don't know if the scratch or whatever was on my chest was paranormal, but I just thought it was odd. I don't know where it would have come from because it wasn't there that morning. So I don't know.
Just to answer Raymond's question here.
Yes.
Lex is really ill, and hopefully he will. That's why we had to cancel the show today. We had a show today, and also I had to cancel the show because I got a 24-hour violation for something really, really dumb. Something really, really dumb, and so I wouldn't have been able to stream anyways, but we would have been able to stream through Lex's StreamYard. So, but he was really ill today, so we'll be back up next week with Through the Lens.
Perfect. And to answer your question also, Raymond, when and where is the West Virginia investigation you talked about on Friday night? Now, this investigation is supposed to be at Droop Mountain Battlefield. If you have any interest in battlefields and the history behind them, that's more or less what we're going to do, and we're going to just basically hang out and meet each other and everything. I did call them today, and I left a message, and said I'd like to throw a big get together at Mountain Battlefield, and I'm asking them what the requirements are. That way, I have everything right there and ready by the time it's time for the trip. So I will keep everybody updated on everything, but it's called Droop Mountain Battlefield, and it's in like Pocahontas County, West Virginia. So I know it's a funny county name, but it's Pocahontas County. So
that is a little bit weird, I have to be honest.
It is, right? I agree with that. Now, here is the picture we were talking about. Nicole, if you want to just elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I got home and I It was like burning, like a burning and stinging sensation, and I don't really know where it came from. I know I didn't scratch myself, and it's like, I don't know if it was paranormal or not, but I just thought it was really odd. And it's not even like a scratch, it's like in a weird V shape. I don't know.
And like you said, like I asked you if you had anything prior or before the investigation, and you said there was nothing there, and really funny that you just get home and feel this sensation on your neck and that spot is there. So again, we can't say that it's paranormal. I don't know if it's paranormal, but I don't know, since you were feeling pain in that area, maybe it is. I don't know, we'll have to look into it somehow. So
it's interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Bryan, actually you've dealt with this kind of stuff before with huntophobia, because this video that we used for the P3 video or the Pair Unity video, I kind of got that off of huntophobia. And in this scene you were on the phone, and I don't know what the whole story was behind it, but you were almost at the point where you couldn't breathe at all. So, it's not a fun feeling.
Yeah, long story short, this town, I don't know what's going on with this town. The town's about an hour and 20 minutes from me. We found out doing more research on the town itself. It was the center of the world of the War of 1812.
Okay.
And over 10,000 people died in this particular town.
Wow.
So, and we're just not talking about soldiers. We're talking about townspeople as well.
Civilians.
What's that? Sorry? Brandon?
Civilians, caught in.
Yeah. And also we found out in 1951 or 52, there was a hotel that used to sit where that store is now. And that hotel was burnt down and 6 people died.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a lot going on in this town, and especially on the main street. Like there's got to be, I would say there's probably close to 75 stores, and all of them are experiencing something.
Oh boy.
And it's just, I could probably do 5 seasons in this town.
On
every different store.
One building, every other week.
Yeah, basically. And so I've done 4 stores on that street, and I've also done another place, which is going to be in my 3rd season. I did a museum. The museum, it was a manor. It was called Nell's Manor, and it was actually the last standing house in the town of the War of 1812. It was the last one standing. And the reason it was still standing was because it was protected by the soldiers and the Indians that were fighting in the war. So they protected the home. But anyways, this particular, and it's really, when I think back about it, it's really odd because it's a hair salon.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And the last place you would think about something going on is a hair salon.
Right.
And I was a hairstylist for 13 years, and you would never expect something like that happening in a hair salon. So long story, of course, I said long story short, but it's getting long. But anyways, so we were actually listening to an EVP session that we just did. That's why you see me with the phone, because I generally, a lot of times when I do the EVP session, I'll do it with my phone. Not necessarily with a recorder. I just find the phone works better for me. But I've been told that I shouldn't, because with a recorder, you get different frequencies on a recorder than you would on a phone. So it's probably better that you do it with a recorder rather than a phone. Anyways, so we were listening to it, and then I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I started coughing. My voice started changing. And all of a sudden, it felt like what was a hand around my throat, strangling me.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't breathe. And we literally had to stop filming. And we stopped filming for about 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You actually, in that particular scene, you actually see me go to the basin and take a drink of water. And, but we had to stop filming. And, I've been touched here and there, but never to that extent. And it was, it was scary. It was really, really scary because you're afraid that you're not going to get your breath back. Like when you're like, I don't know if anybody's experienced this, but if you're punched in the stomach, that you feel like you can't get that breath back. That's what it felt like. And
solar plexus, and wind that gets knocked right out of you.
Yeah. So it was definitely an experience. It was a scary experience, but we actually did that night. We actually did 3 stores in a row, and I brought out other teams to collaborate. And so they were doing one store, I was doing one store, and somebody else was doing another store, and then we'd switch around after an hour and a half.
Not a bad idea.
It was really cool. But it was a really, really scary moment. What I determined, actually, the very, very first time that I went in there just to take a walkthrough, I actually saw something standing beside the hairstylist that owns the place. As soon as I walked in, it saw it, and it ran to the back. So it actually hides in the back of the room.
Oh, wow.
And she said a normal occurrence that happens there all the time is she'll be alone, even though her daughter there works with her.
Yeah.
I think it was Wednesdays that her daughter isn't there on Wednesdays. And for some reason, when you open a door, the alarm goes off. So one day she was in there and the alarm went off. And she thought her daughter came to the store to maybe pick up something. So she went back there. There was nobody there. She called her daughter to see if she'd come in to get something. She said, no, I haven't been there all day. And the funny thing is the door was locked.
Wow.
So, but the alarm went off for the door like it was being opened. And it was just really, really strange. We determined that this woman that owns the salon, she has somebody with her that she's known and follows her and protects her. So that's what we determined. This guy, it was a guy, but the other store we did was, and this is even more funny. The other store we did was the Lego store. So this guy sells nothing but Legos.
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually quite cool. And if you watch the video, we actually show a picture. He caught something on the security camera. Nobody was there. It was like around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He was closed, and he caught an apparition on the security camera. And you see the legs, you see the torso, but there's no head.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really weird. And and which is funny because he's now closed that store and he moved down the street, and now he's experiencing stuff in the news store.
Oh my gosh.
So he captured a spirit of a dog, and he captured the spirit of a man looking like he's reaching for something.
Oh, wow.
Like on a shelf or something like that. I actually have the pictures. They're really quite cool, actually.
Wow.
And that's why I'm saying this whole street is like, I'm telling you, if you guys came here, everybody went into a different store, you would experience something.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just absolutely nuts, this place. And, I'd love to get into more stores, but, I find that the Canadians are a little more reserved. They're a little more scared that if people know that there's a spirit in that place, that people won't come to their store anymore.
Right.
So they're afraid that they're going to lose business, which I think is funny because I think the complete opposite. If you let people know that you have the spirit, I think more people are going to come to your store because they're going to want to experience it.
You get a lot of that with hotels too, that they'll have the thing where you can come and investigate, but you can't release any footage from the investigation to the public.
Yeah. Well, I just did a documentary. Well, the documentary is coming out soon. I did a place in January in Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Okay.
It's going to be turned into a documentary. And it's going in the film festival here, and it's going in the film festival in the States. Mm-hmm. It's also going up on the Paraflix. But it's actually kind of a cool story and a sad story at the same time. But the documentary is going to be amazing. And we filmed there for 3 days in a row. And they closed down for us. And and it was great. And they advertise that they have a haunting. So and that's how they get, and they're always solidly booked. So even the hotel room.
I absolutely love the store owners and whatever, the owners of a building who are not afraid to admit that they got ghosts and spirits,
Yeah. But unfortunately, the story they've been telling everyone is kind of wrong. we actually got to the truth on what's really there, and which is what's really cool. We actually had a medium psychic come in, who's also a tarot card reader, and he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. The story of this place is when the War of 1812 happened, the American soldiers were ordered to invade this bar and this inn and stuff like that. They were ordered to go in there, and nobody knows why, but they were ordered to go in there. So the British soldier actually went there just before that happened to meet a woman that he thought was his true love. Mm-hmm. And she worked there. Well, he thought that, but she didn't think that. So yeah, it was one of those. And so when the Americans attacked the bar, he ran downstairs in the basement, hid in one of those big wine barrels, and he was actually stabbed. The American soldiers came downstairs to the basement and started stabbing all the barrels with their bayonets. So he was actually killed in a wine barrel. So it's actually pretty crazy. And so that's the story. That's the story they're telling everyone. Well, the funny thing that we found out was, and they were baffled. They were like stunned. So basically how it goes is they have their basement, they have the restaurant, then they have 5 rooms upstairs where you can stay. It's an inn. And, but one side of the inn, there's a really, really negative, energy. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say demonic. It's not demonic. And I don't like to use the word demonic. So it's a negative. It's a very pissed off energy. So we were trying to determine why there was such a difference between downstairs and upstairs. And they thought it was the guy that was killed. Well, it didn't make a lot of sense because the guy was killed in the basement and supposedly seen on the second floor, but there's nothing really bad that's happening on the second floor. So what's going on with the third floor? So we actually had the tarot card reader sit down and he was going through his cards. I was asking him questions, and one card he pulled up, which amazed me. I said, "How were you killed?" Something along that line. How were you killed? How were you killed? I think it was something along that line. So he pulled out a card, and it was actually a circle with swords.
No way.
Sticking in the circle. That's the card he pulled after I asked that question. So it was really weird, but we found out, this is when it gets a little bit crazy. We found out the man that killed the guy in the basement died sometime during the war, and his energy went back to the inn. And it's him, it's upstairs.
Really?
Yes. So it was really, really weird. So I was telling this to the owner, and the owners were just like, really? They were stunned, and they'd never heard of that. And that's what's going on in this place. And there are some kids there. And the reason the kids are there is because back years and years and years ago, there used to be an orphanage right next door to this place. And the orphanage, the kids, there's no, I don't want to say there's not a guarantee on this, but supposedly these kids weren't treated very nicely, and some kids died there. So that's why we figured the kids are in the restaurant as well. It's just really, really super weird. And cool at the same time. So we, and that's why I do what I do. Like, I know a lot of investigators go out there just to get the EVPs and the captures, like the hunters. And but I'm really out there trying to get the answers rather than just getting the EVPs and the captures of the shadows and stuff like that. So yeah, that's me. I put investigators in 3 different categories. You have your hunters, you have your the investigators looking for the answers, and then you have the scientific of it, and that's the categories that I put paranormal investigators in. So
we have our own category. Oh boy, no. That documentary is going to be very fun to watch. Now, is there a release date on it? Or?
Well, I think we're looking at May. It all depends on Zach. We're looking at May. We got to keep in mind there were three different cameras over probably 100 hours of film. And this is just not like doing a video and it's me and doing all the different rooms. We're actually doing reenactments as well in the video. So, we're doing all kinds of different things to really put together a nice documentary. So
absolutely.
I know the film festival here in Canada doesn't start till September.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be released on Paraflix first, and then it will go into the film festivals. So
either way, I know I'll be watching because I believe we talked about that before on another show, and that from the moment that you were talking about him being killed in a wine barrel you had me hooked right there. That's interesting.
And I'll tell you something else that's really crazy in this place, and I like to tell this story because it's really, really interesting. So up in the bar area, I don't know if I put any pictures up, but in the bar area, they have you have your ceiling, but they have wood beams going along the ceilings. So it's really, really super cool. But on one beam, they have a gun. They had a gun there, like a very long gun. It's got to be 3 or 4 feet long, this gun. So anyways, the gun's not there anymore. So what's really funny is you could see where the gun was, because you can see the color of it, because it'd probably been there for a while. But the real interesting thing about it all is they've attempted to paint over that at least 10 times, and it comes back.
Wow.
It just appears back. The shape of that gun, it's really, really super crazy. And I think I did put a picture up on Facebook or Instagram of it. And it's just crazy. Like, they paint over it, and then 2 or 3 days later, it's back.
Man, that's crazy stuff. Holy
crap. It's really, really super cool. You guys would love this place. You would love this place. It's big.
What is this place called?
It's called the Old Angel Inn.
Okay, the Old Angel Inn.
Yeah, it's really, really, really super cool. It is actually the longest running bar and inn in Canada, because it's been open since 1870, I think. No, not 1790, I think it's been around. So, which is weird because Canada's only been around since. Canada's only 125 years old, right? So
yeah,
it's been around since 1790, I think.
Wow.
So, but that gun thing is just really, really super cool. It's all those really weird things that are going on in this place. And actually, if you go to their website, they actually captured something on security camera that they think is this Captain Swayze. Captain Swayze was his name, by the way. No relation to Patrick Swayze. So, you never know though. But if you go to their website, it's on the front page of their website, and if you know, they actually have a picture beside of what the uniform looks like, and what it looks like in the picture, the jacket and stuff like that. It's actually it's really, really cool. But I don't think it's what they think it is. I actually think it's a woman.
I'm actually grabbing that picture right now.
I actually think it's a woman. It's not what they think it is. There is a woman in there, by the way. There's also a woman in there as well.
It's on the homepage, you said, right?
I think it's on the homepage. Should be on the homepage.
Not seeing it here, but
I'll find it.
I do believe that
that was a race. Who's going to find it first?
Yes, who's going to find it first?
Right.
So,
tech work.
Found it.
Find it? Where was it?
Found it. It was under the Our History tab.
Okay. It's really
So
quite cool. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool?
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna share my
Yeah,
screen
it's
over.
very,
so
very
everybody can
cool.
take a look. That's exciting. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen over so everybody can take a look. Share screen right there. I don't like StreamYard, man.
Nobody likes StreamYard.
No. Yeah,
Don't say anything. I didn't
pretty,
say anything. That was my inside
it's
voice.
pretty bad, guys, when even your provided countdown for StreamYard gets you a copyright strike. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's just really super
What?
weird. Yeah, the countdowns are getting copyrighted now as well.
Our show that we did this morning.
Weird. Yeah.
Our show that we did this morning said it had a copyright strike on it, and
well, it's not really a copyright strike. What they're doing is they're giving credit to the person that created that countdown. That's what they're doing.
Oh,
it's that little thing on the top right where it's got somebody's name or some company's name.
Star something. Star Shines or something like that. It's just ridiculous.
I saw that.
You know what I think? I think it's because the more popular your page gets, the more they watch your page. So if you got like a smaller page, they don't necessarily watch it. They look at the bigger pages.
All right, can you guys see there?
The bright shimmery light.
Yeah. So now they're associating this with
really
this.
Cool. That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like it's trying to form, but it hasn't gotten there yet.
Wow.
Now, what's interesting about this particular area is that I captured an EVP in this area, which was really, really super cool. But there was if you're looking at this picture the way you're looking at it right now, to the left, there's actually a shelving, and there's actually some, when you hang a glass and stuff like that, or you hang pots and stuff, they actually had a steel pot, was fairly large for tea, and it actually got lifted off there and it was thrown 5 feet.
Wow.
Really?
And hit the wall and broke.
That doesn't even look human.
Yeah, it's just really super weird. But personally, myself, looking at this, I think it's a woman.
It could be. It very well could be.
Yeah. So
there
is a woman downstairs in the main bar area. Her name is Florence, and she used to own that bar at one point.
They actually have a video here. If you guys want, we can check that out quick.
This is this video that they have there. And by the way, this video is going to be replaced with mine, just to let you know. So, but this guy spent the night there, and actually at the end of this video, there's not much to this video. At the end of the video, he had a bunny. Now, this is the room that I slept in. He had a bunny or a toy or something like that. He threw it on the ground, and it was facing one way. And when he woke up in the morning, it was facing the other way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what?
Yeah. So it was really super weird. The first night that I stayed there, I was sleeping, and I could definitely hear voices. You could hear voices. Zach, the camera guy, saying, "Were you walking around the hallway at 3 o'clock in the morning?" I go, "No, I was in bed sleeping." And actually, it was about 3 o'clock because we finished filming around 1. And because we'd been filming all day. So, I go, "No, it's not me." And it wasn't the other guy and Savon and somebody. So that is the story of this place. People, when they sleep there, they hear somebody walking in the hallway, and it sounds like the person is wearing boots. So,
oh wow,
and the K2 was going off, and on the bed, when I put it on the bed, is just this place is like crazy haunted.
Yeah. Well, before our very own Bryan's video gets on this website, why don't we check this guy's video out? Just to see
I think it's about 12 minutes long, I think.
Oh, we'll cut it short so we can give you a little more time there.
Might be longer than that. I can't recall. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay. Well, actually, if anybody wants to see that video, just check out the Old Angel Inn website, and it's under the Art History tab. Interesting. And Bryan, your video going to be up on there. You know, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, if you want, I do have some videos from my UK trip that I just came back from.
Absolutely.
I got a couple of clips from there.
I was actually going to bring that up. Your UK tour, you had 2 weeks, 12 investigations.
I was there for almost a month, and we did 11 investigations over 14 days.
Woo!
And we did over 2,000 miles of driving.
And I bet you were tired as hell when you were done.
Do you know the paranormal hangover? Yeah, I was way beyond that. I was way beyond that. When we actually finished up the tour, when we were done everything, I literally slept for like 2 days.
Oh boy!
And like I would wake up for an hour, I'd go back to bed. So when we finished, I went to bed at like 6 o'clock the night before. I woke up at 10 the next morning. I woke up. I was up till about 12 o'clock. I went back to bed at around 1, and I woke up at 6. And then I went back to bed about 9, and I woke up at, I think, 11:30 the next day. So boy. It was like I was exhausted. And it made it even more difficult because Lex doesn't drive. And it would have been great if Lex did a little bit of the driving, but because he doesn't drive, I did all the driving. So it's okay. It was worth it. I tell you, if you guys ever get the opportunity to go to the UK, that's where you want to go, because as soon as I stepped off that plane, like basically my abilities are like, I can see, like if I see a spirit, it's usually a black mass. But I can't see facial features and I can't hear them. Okay. So if I see something that's on the negative side, I hate to use this word, but the demonic side, it's usually a translucent black smoke that floats around a room. That's what I see. Now, when it comes to the demonic side, I've only seen about 5 in my life. So they're very, very rare. They're nothing like they are on YouTube when they're seen every week. So, it just doesn't happen that way. But when I got off the plane, everything changed. I was able to see them clearer. I was able to hear them sometimes. I was feeling things differently than I'd ever felt before. And everything had changed as soon as I walked off that plane. And I tell this story because I think it really tells a story on how different I am here in North America compared to what I was like in the UK. So we did a place called Fort Whitley on the last night. God, you guys, like you would love this place. Like Fort Whitley's really, really super cool. It was used in World War I and World War II, and it's tunnels underneath the ground.
Oh, wow.
And dude, like you have no idea. And it is so cool. I can't wait till that video comes out because everybody's going to go, holy crap, I'd love to go there. So anyways, in order to get into this place, you got to go through the gates. As soon as I went through the gates, it was like, bam, I had like 600 spirits coming towards me all over me. And I actually, like, there was actually somebody with me and they were asking me what was wrong. And I go, my head was spinning. That's how bad it was. And they said, well, let's just get to the place. And let's just get to the place and then we'll go from there. But it was almost like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like they were all over me and trying to say something, trying to do something. And it was like, honestly, I don't normally get scared when I go to places, but that scared the crap out of me.
I bet.
And I'd never experienced that here and in Canada. And it's just, it was crazy. And, but it was cool at the same time because the tunnels were absolutely incredible. Actually, there is actually a clip caught on camera. And this is where it gets a little more even crazier because there was a certain spot in this place where it's actually been caught on camera that somebody was pushed in this area, like violently pushed in this area. So when I got to this area, we were doing, as soon as I got in this area, they put the spirit balls, they put the REM pod down, they had the grid lights going, everything was going. And I said, you guys are wasting your time. He wants nothing to do with this. He's not even going to go near it. So you're wasting your time. And I was standing against the wall, and all of a sudden, boom, it came right into my face and yelled, "Get out." And I'd never experienced that before. Like, I've gotten get out, and I think everybody does doing this. We all get out. But the spirit actually came right into my face, and that had never happened before. And I said, okay, I need to get out of this area. And we did. Thank God. We didn't go back to that area. But the place was so cool. I can't wait. I can't wait for people to see that video.
Yes, that's going to be exciting. Knock it off.
Yeah.
The joy.
Oh, so you want to see it? You want to see a clip? I can put up a clip
Absolutely.
for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me explain this clip a little bit. I'm not big on using a lot of different things on investigations. I generally like my camera. I like my SB7. I like my my voice recorder, and that's generally what I generally use on most investigations. But we decided that we were going to use spirit balls in this investigation. So we're at a mausoleum. Now, the story about this mausoleum is actually kind of it's sad, but it's like a love story. And of course, I like being in the UK. I'm definitely going back for sure. So so what happened was there was this couple, and this woman had a mausoleum built for her husband that had passed away. Unfortunately, the mausoleum that was built, the coffin didn't fit in the mausoleum. So they ended up having to bury him somewhere else. Not in this graveyard, but they buried him in another graveyard. Well, she ended up dying like 30 years later. And so he ended up being taken from the graveyard that he was at and brought to this graveyard, obviously outside of the mausoleum, and she was buried beside him. So basically, the mausoleum sits there empty. There's nothing in it. So it's just really, really, it's really, really sad. But in this video, you're gonna go, oh, that's really super cool.
Yeah. Oh man, now I need to see this.
So let me just get this up
empty
here.
mausoleum. You know, I'm almost wondering, Brian, if either that husband or wife kind of lurks around in that mausoleum.
Well, you're gonna find out soon enough.
All right. Well,
you're
let's
gonna
watch.
Find out soon
Here
enough.
it is. Here it is.
As soon as it comes up. Let me get rid of this. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you buried here? Light it up if you are.
Hey, just went off. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I heard a step behind towards back in the field.
So you're buried here. Light up the ball. Trying to get rid of that play button.
Right.
I just heard a whoop.
It's going off.
Can you light up the thing at the top of the step?
Like I was unraveling your story.
What was the man's name that was buried here again?
Lawrence Shaw's story, and she's Emmeline.
Lawrence was his first name?
Lawrence.
Yeah. If your name's Lawrence, light it up. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If your name's Lawrence, light it up again.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
What was her name again, sorry?
Emmeline.
Emmeline?
Emmeline? Emily.
Emily? Okay, can you stop it? Is there an Emily here? Emmeline?
Yeah.
Is there an Emmeline here? Thank you.
Wow.
Is Emily buried here?
Dude, that is freaking awesome.
Mhm.
Right.
Is it true that you were buried somewhere else and you came here?
I see something right there.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell me?
Are you two together?
Oh.
Oh.
Very much.
That's incredible. That was incredible.
Yeah. Wow.
I have a question. Do you remember which side of the mausoleum they were buried on?
Where I was standing, it's on the left side.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what's really cool, and I'm not going to give too much away, but what's really cool is we actually captured what looks like to be an apparition walking along the stairwell, going towards the spirit ball and the REM pod and all those things. And actually, during the investigation, we actually captured another light going out from around the mausoleum, around the corner, and into the mausoleum.
Really?
And it was just super, super cool. And you know what? I'll be honest, when we first got there, and Lex says this too, we weren't expecting anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were expecting nothing. And we started getting all these things. I captured some EVPs on the camera as well. And it blew us away. And there's more questions. I didn't put all of them in those clips, but there are more questions, and it does answer. And what's funny is people go, well, maybe there was something on it or something like that. Well, what we did before we put the spirit ball down, we made sure there was nothing in the area, and we cleaned everything off, and we just put the spirit ball down, and it started going off right away. And then there was a time where it didn't go off for like 10 minutes. And then it started going off again. So it was cool. It was really cool.
Paranormal is just a wonderful and unexplainable thing sometimes. You never know what's going to happen.
What I find amazing is the fact that when I said, are you two together? Even though they died 30 years apart from each other, they still found each other.
Yep.
And they're together now. And that's what I find amazing. That's what I find amazing. And I think that's why we do this, to get those kind of answers. And
you get clarity for not only
because you never know, because somebody that you love dearly, that you've been married to or you've been together with for so many years, dies, and then you die like 20, 30 years later. You're going, okay, well, I wonder if they are together. And it could be a family member, it could be friends or whatever, but that clearly right there answered the question that they're still together. So, and that was great.
I agree with Matt. It's a beautiful story / adventure for them, and it sure is. That's absolutely beautiful. Wow. And it. You don't always capture stuff like that, and when you do capture it, it's exciting. And
it's very exciting.
Like you said, it's a beautiful love story.
It's like a drug, right?
Pretty much.
Once you capture that first thing, you want more.
Yes.
You want more and more and more and more, and hopefully you get more. And that's why I do it. I have so much love for this field and so much passion for it. And
absolutely.
And you know what? I love the field, but honestly, in the last year, I've met some amazing people too. And that's another great thing too. The amount of people that you meet and talk to, and there's the odd black sheep, but everybody has a black sheep in their family.
Yeah.
So but all in all, I've met some amazing people, and like Matt and you, Marcus, and everybody else here on this panel, and we're it's just an amazing industry, and I wish it got a lot more. I wish it got more respect.
I wish so too.
And because we're all people too, and we're doing our best to bring people evidence that we capture because that's what we love.
Absolutely. And I can, speaking from like quite a few years, maybe 3 or 4 years of experience, I've always dealt with critics of the paranormal, and they don't if you start to record like a video and you start to get actions and stuff and responses and all of this, you're crazy. This stuff don't exist. Well, if you're a skeptic or not, if you are, then each to their own opinion,
Yeah.
and you don't have to believe, and I'm not here to make you believe. I'm here to get clarity for people and reunite them with their family, or get clarity for spirits. It's not about making you happy,
Yeah, I'm always my mother's husband, he doesn't believe any of it. And I play something for him and he goes, "Oh, well, that's explainable. That was somebody else talking." And it's like, no. No.
Who else would have been
But
talking if
like
nobody
I always
won?
believe, I'm not here to change anybody's minds and stuff like that. If you believe what you believe, and that's your your opinion. But I'm just going out there and doing my thing and showing what I capture. And if you don't believe it, that's on you.
Exactly. Oh, I'm right there with you, man. You have some good, you have very good knowledge in the field, and just your take on things is phenomenal. So
Yeah,
I'm sure my whole panel here can agree with me.
I'm very simplistic. I'm not complicated,
Yeah.
like one thing that I always do, and Lex and Portal, like I went out there and collabed with 4 other teams, and oh, what happened there? Everything just went crazy. My stream went crazy. Everything went crazy. So I collabed with Lex. Obviously, you know that. We also collabed with Portal to the Paranormal. We also met up with GSI. That's on Paraflix, and we also met up with the Patrol. And so we did different investigations on different nights and stuff like that with these teams. And I don't know where I was going. I don't know where I was going with that, but I lost my train of thought because everything just went really super weird here. Like everything just flashed off. It's funny. Anytime you're talking about paranormal, something tech-wise always goes wrong.
Yes.
It's weird.
Oh, you're talking about me again? Okay.
I remember that episode with Victor Santiago or whatever, and all of his stuff started going off behind him, and it freaked him out. That's great.
Freaked him out a lot. Darn paranormal investigators.
Well, I was testing out a live stream one night, and a couple of nights before, I was at an abandoned church, and I knew I brought something home. I just knew I brought something home. I could feel her here. I could see her here, and I just knew she was here. And I don't like to bring things home with me, but I was just sitting here talking because I was testing a live stream or something. I was testing something, and all of a sudden, you see it's actually on TikTok. You actually see an orb go right across. It actually comes up like this and then goes like this.
Oh, what?
And it's definitely not dust, but because you can actually literally see it come up like this, stop, and then go right around the microphone and come right here. And it was really super cool, but I was going, okay, I have to take her back.
It's exciting when you capture orbs and stuff, because we our latest episode called Pine City Poltergeist was in Cara and Brandon's house, and Cara, Kendra, and Lisa were down in the basement, and they were doing their investigation down there, and Kendra points the camera over to the laundry room or whatever, because they see or something.
Yeah.
The cat went by.
Okay, well, and something really weird, you got a glimpse of the outlet in the video, and all of a sudden, a orb comes up out of the outlet, and it circles around, does I don't know what you want to call it, a loop, and it almost goes into our base, where our base was set up.
Oh, wow.
That was interesting. So,
I think sometimes people think they're seeing an orb, but it's usually a bug or dust particle. But you can definitely tell an orb, like for example, yours, what you just explained, it sounds like it. And for this thing just to come up like this, go around my microphone and come in front of the camera. That was no bug. There's no bugs in my place. And there was no dust. So, you know,
There's no bugs in there, huh?
there's no bugs in my place. Yeah.
Well, actually,
it was interesting.
I tried.
That's one big way to be able to tell is, you know, if it's like changing directions, like moving, you know, then you can.
Well, I don't know how many bugs are this. If I had a bug this big in my place, I think I would have seen that bug.
Oh yeah.
But and I would have squashed that bug. But it was about this big. And I don't know how many bugs are that big, but definitely was not a bug. It's actually quite cool, actually.
You know, and actually the orb that I'm talking about in Connor and Brandon's house is I tried so hard to find an explanation of what it was, and just the way that it came out of the outlet. So kind of a little piece of this thing came out of the outlet, and then it almost was as if it squeezed itself out. And you know, just a little strip of light below it and kind of a ball up top, and then it squeezes itself out, does a loop, and then goes into our base. So, and you know, it's a little
the
longer.
door was closed on the base too. So
what's that?
Yeah,
the door was closed at the time too.
Yes,
I did an investigation at a farm a few years back, and everywhere. And in the barn area, there's activity. In the house area, there's activity. And there, like several years ago, there was a plane crash that happened about 200 yards away from this home, and I think there was like 12 people died. So in this plane crash, so they think those people from their plane are now in this home and in this barn and stuff like that. And during that investigation, I caught what is it called? Jesus, the name of it. It's not the entity. It's starts with the P. I can't think of it. Plasma. It was a plasma kind of type of thing, and it was like two of them happened in this barn, and it was really, really super cool. And but you know, there was in the farm and like in the barn, they actually have a body shop at the first floor. So we had actually security cameras everywhere in this barn. And at one point, the security camera in the auto body place, there was an actual, and this again, I'm not skeptical on orbs, but I'm very careful on when it's an orb and when it's something else. But this orb came up to the camera, stopped, went like this, went back, and then came forward again.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know of any bugs that do that.
No.
I don't know of any dust particles that do that.
No.
And it was really, really super cool. And so, but I'm very careful when it comes to orbs. And, you know, I've seen too many videos of orbs, and you can easily tell it's a bug or it's a dust particle.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bryan, completely off subject, but a really good question that I don't think I've ever asked before. In your best words, how does one become a paranormal investigator?
Oh,
Gonna make you think.
Oh God. How do I answer this? I think it's not that I don't want to answer it. I want to answer it. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to answer it.
I gotta make you think.
You know, I think I'll say this. If you're looking to get into the field, which is great, which is amazing. But I really truly believe that you should have a plan on why you're doing it, what you're going to be doing, and what your goal is. If you're just going out there just to be an ass, then don't. You know, and again, I know a lot of people get caught up in this, but once they start getting the followers and the subscribers and whatever they're getting, they start doing things that they shouldn't be doing, like faking. and it's really bad for our field. But research, always know what you're going to be doing, or if you're going to be going to a place, research the place, not only because of the history, because of safety,
to know what you're doing.
You know, well, safety as well. And I would never ever tell anybody to go out by themselves. I don't think it's safe. But if you are, like Lex said a couple of weeks ago, if you are going out by yourself, let other people know where you're going.
Yes.
And text people during your investigation so they know you're okay if you are going to go by yourself. I think it's important. Me personally, I think you need to have a plan, and what that plan is, what your goal is, what you're trying to achieve, and stuff like that. That's what I would say about getting into becoming an investigator. Other than that, I everybody's different. Like I got into it for obvious reasons, because I was able to see things and I really wanted to experience investigations. But really, to me, I guess at the end of all of that, have a plan on what that's a loaded thing to say. I understand that, but have a plan on what you're going to be doing and what your goal is. So
absolutely,
and stick to it.
My stance on that is because you going by yourself. I mean, you could walk into somewhere where you have no idea what the hell is in there, and you could run into something really bad. And if you're by yourself, it's not going to turn out good.
Well, it's funny because it's not funny, but Lex went on to an investigation with somebody else, and he fell through a floor.
Oh wow!
So it was good that he had somebody else with him. And so it's stuff like that. Like we walk into a lot of places. Like I was at the a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I was in New Jersey, at the White Hill Mansion, and doing an investigation there. And I was upstairs, and the floor was so thin in some of the parts upstairs, it almost felt like you were going to come through and drop like 20 feet.
Oh boy!
So. I don't know if you guys have ever been to White Hill Mansion, but definitely a must go. White Hill Mansion is considered one of the most haunted places in the States.
Oh wow!
So it's a great place.
Is it like an abandoned place or?
Oh, it's an abandoned mansion. It used to be a mansion. It was also I think it was owned at one point. The speakeasy downstairs in the bar, like in the basement, it's called Speakeasy or something like that.
Okay.
Was supposedly run by mobsters.
Oh wow!
So it's a pretty crazy place, but that was an interesting trip. White Hill Mansion's really, really cool.
Where is that place located?
New Jersey.
Okay.
New Jersey, yes. New Jersey? Yes, New Jersey. Ask me where, I don't know. I don't know New Jersey. I went to the hotel, they gave me the map, and I went to the place. I didn't go anywhere in New Jersey except to the White Hill Mansion. I was only there for a day and a half. So
for the old Angel Inn, I'm thinking Hunters, where we have to do a Canadian road trip. So
yeah, how far are you guys from? You guys are in Minnesota, right? How far are you guys from the border?
Good question.
Yeah, probably about 6 hours.
So it's just right over the border. It's in Niagara by the Lake. So you guys would go through Detroit way or Buffalo way?
We'd probably just go straight up 35, get out to 61, up past Grand Marais, kind of.
So is that Detroit way?
I believe so.
I don't know what that means.
Kind of, Detroit, Minnesota, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and Matt's right. It's not too far away from Philly. So it's about. I think it's about 2 hours.
Don't you need passports though?
Yeah, you do need passports.
Yeah, you do need passports, unfortunately. And
it's not a bad
I thought the American Border Patrol was bad, but unfortunately, the Canadians are worse. They're terrible. They're terrible.
Really?
Like I got yelled at the American border when I was going to New Jersey. I got yelled at because they like to yell. I don't know why. So
they like to yell.
He was going to charge me with fraud because he thought I was lying. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
What?
It's crazy. He goes, if you don't tell me the truth, I'm going to charge you with fraud. I go, wow, thank you for coming to the States. So,
Right.
he thought I was up to no good. So, but it is what it is. So, you Americans are, but Canadians are worse. You think Canadians are nice? Everybody says Canadians are nice. If you go across the border, tell me if the Canadians are nice.
Oh,
South Park was right. Blame Canada.
Yeah, exactly. I don't watch South Park, but I'm sure it was funny. But yeah, blame Canadians.
so Bryan, so how can anyone join Parapost Network if they want to get their show on there, they want to get their podcast on there, or even be a member? How can you join Parapost Network?
There's when you go to the page, you follow the page, you like the page or whatever, or you're going to see a message thing there where you can click on message, send me a message, and say you have a podcast, you do live. And now I just want people to know. It's just not about podcasts. If you go out and do live investigations, you can be up there as well. We want those up there as well. So if you just do live investigate, because we have somebody on there now called the Tipsy Ghost.
Okay.
They just do live investigations. I think they did one a couple of weeks ago, and they did a walkthrough of the place, and it was cool. So if you just do live investigations, come on up. Send me a message saying you want to come up on board. I'm not going to interview you. If you want to be on the page, I simply make you an editor, and that's it. I'm not going to go through a bunch of questions on who you are as a person and stuff like that. This is basically, and like I said this earlier, this is page where I'm providing you another page to stream on. If you have a ridiculous show, that's on you. It's not. It's not on me. So that's your show. It's your show, and if you love your show, other people might love it too. And just send me a message, and we'll get you up there and going, and get you some more followers, some more likes, and some more people watching you.
Exactly.
Because we all know, and we all hate it, is the algorithm. So the more people that are watching your shows, the more it's going to get pushed out.
So Donna is waiting for you to invite her.
I think Donna doesn't live too far from me, actually.
There you go.
Yeah. Another Canadian.
Now we talked about how to be a member on the What's Up Her show.
Donna just said she was nice as a Canadian. She was a nice one.
Oh.
Yes.
No,
Brian is right, you guys. Brian is right, you guys.
Brian's right.
Brian is right, you guys. Yeah. Yeah.
So we talked about how to be a member on the Parapost Facebook page, but let's not forget the Parapost app. Now, how can you become part of Parapost, which is basically the Facebook for paranormal?
Yes. Well, hopefully one day it's going to be that. I am in the works of, and a lot of people know this, I am in the works on putting live stream on the Parapost. Eventually over the next year, I'm going to have Parapost is going to have its own platform. So it's going to be rebuilt, and it's going to, like, Facebook has its own platform. Twitter has its own platform. Instagram has its own platform. Parapost is going to have its own platform. Unfortunately, that takes I'm going to say this. It takes a shitload of money to do that, and it's not cheap. And so once it gets its own platform, we're going to be able to do anything we want to the site. So when people want to join up for the site right now, and I will say, in the last week and a half, we've had almost 160 new followers, or new users, I should say. So it's really starting to pick up some speed, which is great. So if they want to download Parapost Network, they go through iOS or Android. If you're on your laptop, you can download it through there as well, or just go in www.parapost.net. And obviously we called it .net, and that's because it's Parapost Network, right? So I could have gone .com, but that just would have confused everyone.
You are a genius, Mr. Bryan.
Well, I don't know about that, but so they could just download it through iOS and Android. And I don't say this enough, and I'm going to say it today. If you have a YouTube channel, you can sign up to Parapost, and we are the only social media site that does this. You can hook up your YouTube to Parapost. So once that is done, every time you upload a video, it automatically uploads on Parapost. So any views and likes that you get onto Parapost goes onto YouTube.
Exciting.
And I don't think people understand that. So if people are watching, and people are watching the videos on Parapost, they are watching the videos, which is great. So those likes and those views go over to YouTube as well. So it's just another way to get more views and more likes.
That's awesome. Now, while we're on the subject of the Parapost app, you're actually going to be releasing some merchandise on there soon.
Tomorrow. And I think it's tomorrow. I'm hoping it's tomorrow. It should be tomorrow. But yeah, it's going to be released. So if people go into the site, they go to shop, they'll hit a little arrow and it'll say Parapost merch, and then it will come up. And I put something on there that I think people are going to really like. And it's not clothes. I wonder if I'll wait till it comes out tomorrow so people can see it. But it's really super cool, and I think a lot of people are going to get it, and it's really cool. And I can't wait for people to see it.
How dare you spoil?
Well, okay. Well, I could show you.
Totally up to you. We don't want.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll give you a little taste.
Okay, well, let's see then.
I'll give you a little taste on what it is.
Okay.
And hopefully it opens. So I'm gonna have to share my screen.
Okay.
Again, and it's really quite cool. So let me just share my screen, and it's going to be a really useful product, and I know people are going to start copying me as well, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
You were the founder of this idea, so.
So let me just open that, and there you go.
And my StreamYard's being stupid tonight, so.
Okay, so this right here, I think this is the coolest item that we have on there. So this is actually a crossbody sling bag, but what's cool about this, it's got a USB, so you can plug in your phone.
Ooh, I'm gonna buy one.
I know there's going to be folks in the comments about me.
Marcus needs that.
So, but what's really cool about this too is, and we're going to put a video up on what this bag does. But see this right here where my cursor is, you can actually put a fairly decent size water bottle in there.
Really?
Yeah. And this is going to be, the battery goes inside, so you can get it with a battery or without a battery, and you can plug in your phone. You can plug in whatever you want to plug in, and you can see the headphones right here. Comes out with the headphones right here as well. You got a little hole there for your headphones. It can go on your front and it can go on the back of your body.
That's amazing, dude. Wow.
So I thought of that idea, and I thought people would really like that, and yeah, so that's it. Comes in black, gray, red, and blue.
Cannot catch a break.
What's going on? What happened?
Matt's comment.
Something else Marcus will forget to charge.
No, as soon as you said the backpack had a phone charger on it.
Yeah. It's not for a phone too. You can put anything that you need to charge. You can charge with that. You know, so you're gonna have like a little battery pack that you're gonna put inside the bag that's gonna hook up. And
you know,
I don't know the story about this, so that's.
So you want to put me on the spot, Mr. Brandon? It's my turn, sir. So yesterday on the investigation, we're trying to get the spirit box hooked up to a speaker so we can amplify the noise, and Brandon is struggling. We're giving him crap the entire time now. Kara's like, you want me to try? And as soon as Kara gets that speaker, it's hooked up. Immediately.
See that, Marcus? You can get one to charge the first backpack.
Yeah, you're gonna need two. One to charge a backpack, one to charge a phone.
What if I forget to charge the second backpack?
You know, I think it was just something that I came up with, and I thought, like a lot of times people are carrying their K2s or their voice recorders in their pockets, or they have a big, huge knapsack in the back. And this is something that's really light. That's not going to put a lot of pressure on your shoulders.
Yeah.
You can put it on your front. You can put it on the back, and it's something very, very light. And I thought it was just something that people would love to use. And
your marketing,
because how often do our phones die if you're using your phone and you have to plug your phone in somewhere else and leave it there and not use it? This way you can carry around your phone and keep it with you without having to carry a battery or something. So it's cool.
I know I'm getting one or two of those. Those are actually exciting, and nobody's ever really done those. So
you see what I think somebody said 5. Somebody said 5 there.
Matt says he's getting 1 or 5.
He's getting 1 or 2. No, they're just super cool, and it's just going to be a super. I think if it's going to help you on an investigation, then it's a good product. So I'm getting 1 or 6. What does that mean? How do you? That's a big difference of numbers there. So
right.
But I want everybody to know as well. This is not going into my pocket. This is going back into Parapost, so I can build a better and bigger site. And because it costs money, and let me put it this way, in order for me to build my own platform, I'm going to put it in private chat how much it's going to cost me, and then you guys can take a look at it. Okay.
All right.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Now,
ready?
You guys have questions?
There you go.
Holy shit. That's
wow.
That's a lot.
Whoa. Woo.
Well, but dang.
Yeah. So,
oh my God.
And the reason that is because not only is it going to be, the hosting itself is like almost 20,000 a year. And and then to have the live streaming on there, and then just everything. It's also going to have 24/7 customer service support as well.
Oh, that's perfect.
So if people have problems, they can just reach out to customer support. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. If I knew then what I know now, I might have had second thoughts about doing this. But
right. I love Nicole's reaction.
You know what? I love it. I love it. And I love, I said this a couple of weeks ago on, it was probably 2 months ago. Paranormal and History I was on their show, and somebody reached out to me on Instagram after finding out about Parapost. And it was really quite sad, to be honest. And, he basically said to me, he goes, you know what? I can't believe there's a site like this. I am so happy there's a site like this because I'm tired. I'm tired of posting videos, posting stuff, whether it's on Twitter and Facebook, and people judging him, people making fun of him. He was actually thinking about quitting the business. And because he was just ridiculed so much on what he was doing. And when he reached out to me, he goes, thank you so much for building this site. And I know it's going to go far, and I'm going to be there every step of the way. And he just said, thank you. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's why I built the platform, so people can go over to this platform and not be judged, not be ridiculed, because they might look a little bit different, and they might do different things on an investigation. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all the crap that goes on in this industry, because it's a fantastic industry and I love it. And I'm just tired of it. And that's why I built the platform, because I was strolling through Facebook one day and Twitter, and you know what? Everybody thinks Facebook is bad for drama. Spend a couple of days on Twitter and tell me if Facebook's bad, because it's not. Facebook is minor compared to Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And I was just tired of seeing the crap all the time. And so I said to a buddy one day, I go, this is the site I want to build. And he goes, well, let's do it. And we did it. And here we are today, 10 months later.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, all right. Any of my hunters, do you guys have any questions for Bryan for parapose, huntophobia, anything?
I took a look at that private chat. I saw that.
What does it
Y'all are
say?
mean to me, man.
No, that's what happens when you're a lead investigator, my friend.
Or founder.
Question for him? No, I just when he was talking earlier about the first time you go somewhere and you're not expecting anything, it immediately jarred my memory to an investigation we're going to be doing in Isani.
Yeah.
When me and Cara went there, I mean, we weren't expecting anything, and all of a sudden, just boom.
Never sing dead people a happy birthday song. Just saying.
Oh, that's interesting because we have a bridge here. We have a bridge here in it's about 25 minutes from here, 30 minutes from here, somewhere around there. It's called Bailey's Bridge.
Oh.
And on this bridge, it happened. I can't recall the year it happened, but this girl, it was her birthday. She just turned, I think, 15. And she was with a bunch of friends. She left the group of friends and was actually kidnapped and sexually assaulted and killed under the bridge.
Oh, no.
Of this bridge. So now if you go to this bridge and you sing happy birthday, you'll actually hear her scream.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really, really sad. So it's unfortunate. You know, it's unfortunate some of these places we go to, the stories are just horrible on how people have died and say, especially jails. You know, the jails, as much as they are amazing visually, a lot of them have a lot of sad stories. A lot of sad stories. So
wow. Any questions for us, Bryan?
Wow, that was a flip. I don't know. Why doesn't somebody tell me? I got the strange feeling. Rochelle is Rochelle your medium?
Yes.
Okay. So no, you're
Good
not.
job.
Yes.
So I was asking what when you're out and here I got a good question for you. When you go out onto an investigation and you guys have walked away, you've gotten nothing, how do you feel when you leave that investigation? Do you feel like you're disappointed?
No, I mean if it's a private house and there's nothing there, I actually feel better because then you can kind of, hopefully you're explaining to the people what's going on, like if it's pipes or it's the floors or it's creaky or it's, animals. But if you're just going in there to investigate, it's kind of a bummer. But
yeah. So how did everybody else get involved in this? In investigating? What's everybody's origin stories?
Mine is more or less I did a YouTube channel out of curiosity and communicating the paranormal world, and I more or less just wanted to take my fun and games YouTube channel and to turn it into something real. And then so became Minnesota Spear Hunters, which wouldn't trade for anything. I love this team. I love my members. It's amazing.
Cool. And Brandon and Cara, how did you get involved?
We've both had a lot of experiences since we were young, and I don't know, it just got to a point where we were doing, investigations together, and then we just decided to start looking for a team pretty much.
So how long have you been with Minnesota Spirit Hunters?
November.
Yeah, November.
Oh, okay. So fairly new. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Donna said that they did a story on the Travel and Escape channel here in Canada on that bridge. It's called Bailey's Bridge.
Okay.
So and did I get everybody? Oh, Nicole, how did you get into it?
I started watching like those paranormal shows when I was like really young, probably like 8.
Okay.
So I've been interested in it ever since. I kind of went looking for my experiences first.
Okay.
So
that's cool. That's all I got, guys. It's good to know everybody's story. I love, you know what, when I do Through the Lens, I love learning because everybody's origin story is different. And I find it so fascinating how some people get into it And me and Lex always ask this question because we're both fascinated on how people started, and and it just fascinates me. Really, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Much love to Bryan.
Since
is that in a manly way? I hope.
Right. Since you asked Cara and Brendan how long they've been with us, I actually want to go ahead and throw it out. Rochelle, you're about to celebrate your 1 year of being a hunter. So,
oh wow!
Yep.
Congratulations.
Next
month. And are you having fun? That is the main thing.
I am. We went to a hotel, and of course, I'm not allowed to know anything. And we walked in, and I came out and I had tears in my eyes, and I looked at Marcus and said, I don't mind going into the rooms where they're nuts, but when it's like somebody that's died and they're pregnant and the story comes out, I just looked at him and said, don't do that one again. And I had to go and talk to the lady then. So,
yeah, and that's what I mean. And that's what I said earlier. Sometimes you're going into these places and there's some really, really sad stories on how these people died. And it's such a shame, but that's what we do. That's what we do. We want to find those answers and maybe even get their message out as well, because they might have a message that they want to get out, and to maybe a family member or something like that. You never know.
She was thinking it was still 1800s, and she was wondering why I was dressed so different. So I had to explain to her what year it kind of was and stuff, and I talked to her for a while, and then she goes, I don't belong here anymore.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means, Matt. Are you normally aggressive or
no,
in a non-aggressive way? What does that mean?
When we went to this hotel, by the way, it's called Palmer House Hotel, most haunted hotel in Minnesota. Rochelle walks in this room all herself, and then it was just I don't know how to say it, but it was just, I felt bad for this spirit, and actually that Rochelle had to walk in and see the spirit the way that she was. So it's a sad thing with most of the ghost entity spirits, whatever they are. It's a sad thing sometimes.
Yeah. It's funny. You guys did an investigation. I think it was it 2 months ago, 3 months ago? You guys did the Boyd house?
Yes.
You want to hear something funny about that?
Sure.
The Boyd house was the very, very first feature that we had on Parapost.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. When we first launched, I spoke to her about her featuring her haunted place on Parapost. And I thought that was really cool that you guys went to the Boyd house.
Yes.
And,
actually, we are going to pretty soon make a return to the Boyd house, and it's going to be a 2-day, 2-night lockdown of the Boyd house, and we're going to do a 2-night investigation.
Have fun with that. Have fun with that.
This time, Nicole,
I was dead after the first one.
Nicole, this time I'm snagging the big couch before you can.
I'm sleeping on the porch.
I don't think so.
My chair.
I'll take one of the recliners again.
I don't mind going to a place. But I have no need to stay there and sleep there. Like I did it at the hotel, yeah. But I go there, I investigate, and then I want to leave. The last thing I want to be doing is sleep in there, and especially sleeping there 2 nights. Good Lord. God bless you guys. That's all I have to say.
It's definitely a fun place to be. I think the funnest thing about that was Rochelle's reaction when we were about to go up to the attic.
You know where I did that, right? Remember the dad? Oh, you guys don't. The dad didn't want anybody waking up the kids, and that's why I woke up out of the dead sleep and said, you better not go. And I said, forget it. They're not going to listen to me anyway.
Yep.
I remember going up into the little red room in the upstairs with you in the morning when everybody was sleeping, and we talked to the mom. That was super cool.
Yeah.
The little crawl space too. Oh my gosh, you guys are just gonna have to watch that. We're gonna pull that episode down off of YouTube, and we're gonna do some editing and make it shorter because it's a 3-hour episode. So,
Wow. Well, I got for the UK trip, I got I think I got at least 90 hours of film.
Oh,
and
wow.
I got about 40 hours of audio
Woo.
to go
Okay.
through.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
gonna be fun. And I'm the type of person that when I go through my audio, I like to go over it several times just to
Mhm.
make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yep.
So
Yes.
yeah, it's not going to be fun. And on top of that, I'm losing my editor.
Oh, no.
After the third season, he's done, and I'm gonna start editing my videos. And I'm better than I was a year ago.
Yeah.
But my cuts and all that, my transitions and all that are really, really good now. But where I'm still lacking is the color grading. So that's where, and I don't want to put in a filter or a lux to correct that, because I think then that's when it starts looking fake.
Right.
So I want to get into the proper color grading, but it's not easy. I don't know what kind of software do you use for your editing, Mark?
I use a editor tool called KindMaster and Power Director. So I actually use two. I actually use two editing softwares, and there's certain videos that you need to use each of the softwares. So you kind of bounce it back and forth between the two, and then you got to put it all in one.
Yeah, I use Sunny Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So it's really, really super cool. It took me a while to get used to it. So, but yeah. So anyway, so yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, Bryan, we can't thank you enough once again for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure chatting with you, and I can't wait to have you back. I think
it was great to meet everyone and sit down and talk with everyone. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have you coming back 3 times in season 3. So yeah, 3 times. You already know this, sir.
Let me.
I'll
mental. I'm trying to go back. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Okay.
We're coming on with Lex, right? We're coming on with Lex at one point.
Yes. We're gonna be talking about all three of your different platforms. Once we get to Through the Lens, bring Lex. Actually, if you want to bring him for all the shows, feel free.
Yeah, okay.
More than happy.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But once again, if anybody wants to join Parapost Network, the link is in the description right now. You could go ahead, click on that. It'll take you to Parapost Network. Parapost.net is also down there, and Huntophobia and Through the Lens. Everything is right down below that you're going to need. Bryan, you got some amazing work coming out. You guys will be able to check that out here pretty soon. So, thank you, Bryan.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, everyone, for having me today. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. We can't wait to have you back. So have a good night, and thanks very much.
Okay. Ciao.
Yep. Bye. See you later. And thank you to all of you guys. You guys are also awesome panel. And do you guys have any questions about anything? Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up then. You guys have a great night. I will see you guys in the next show. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys very much for being awesome guests and welcoming Bryan to our show. Actually, a truly amazing show. Now, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, we have the airing of our show on the Mike Wagner Show. So that's going to be airing live on MNSpiritCast next Wednesday at 7 p.m. So don't miss that. And lots of other great stuff coming out. And we'll keep notifying you about everything new. So thanks, everybody, for being wonderful guests. And hope you guys have a good night. Wednesday night next week. We'll see you then. Until then, happy hunting.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.